Most people will never learn how to love themselves because they do it wrong. But today, I'm going to show you a completely different way on how to love yourself that actually works. For a very long time, a lot of people don't get it right. People don't get what self-love means. In the media, on social media, everywhere, we've heard a lot of things on what self-love means, on how you can love yourself. I'm going to discuss two of them. And the first one is that you don't need the external validation. You just need to say to yourself that I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm enough. That's not true. Let me be sincere with you. Every single human being wants to be validated, including president. It's just how we're wired as human beings. We are social machines that have been built, to work together, to live together as a complete unit. It's okay if you want other people to tell you, oh, you look beautiful. I love how you speak. You are so fluent. If they tell you that you are so smart, I saw how you answered those questions. Those are really good things. Validation is a key part of human life. So please take note of that. External validation is as good as internal validation. The second thing they talk about, they'll be like, for self-love, you need to think positive, treat yourself, take yourself out. I'm not saying these things are not good. They are good, but they are not enough for self-love to grow deep root within you. Okay. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 powerful techniques that you can use to cultivate the act of self-love. I've actually used them over the past few years and they work magic. I'm going to be talking about them. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please hit the subscribe button right now. On this channel, you have access to a lot of highly inspiring videos that will tell you, how to be a better person, make more money, have great relationships, and live a much more fulfilling life. Now, to the first point, write a letter to yourself. I know this is strange. I know you are wondering, what do you mean I should write myself a letter? I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you how to do it. I want you to listen carefully. We send text, right? We pick up our phones. We send text to friends, to family, to colleagues. We send emails. We even send letters, right? A lot of us send love letters to the people we love, our lovers, our family. But let me ask you, have you ever written and sent a letter to yourself? Honestly, I asked 10 people and none of them said they have ever done that. This is a practice that I came across a few years ago and I started using, and the result has been magical. Sometimes ago, when something really big, when it comes to trust about relationship or friends happened to me, I was so devastated. I felt so bad. I had to write myself a letter, and that did so much for me, honestly. Let me read one of those. I'm going to read like the first paragraph of one of those letters to you. I said, "Dear Ayodeji, I am very sorry about the events of last night. I totally understand how it makes you feel, leaving you upset and doubtful about trusting people going forward. But you need to realize that you tried your best." Did you hear that? You were open, that's validation, honest, and truthful to the best of your ability, right? The truth is that you can only control your emotions, but never those of other people. Very correct. Please don't beat yourself up, and I know you'll be better, stronger, and even more compassionate in the future. This letter healed me, sincerely. How about you take your time? It doesn't matter what you're going through, whether it's regarding your relationship, your career, your family, or anything that is disturbing you, and it's really caused a lot of damage to you. It's really affected you, your mood, how you see yourself and all of that. Why don't you take that time out? Pick a pen. If you want to use your phone, you can use your phone. Write a personal letter to yourself. Whatever your name is, your first name is, just address it. Dear Ayodeji, dear whatever you, dear something, express yourself, how you feel. I know people talk about journaling, that you write the events of your life. That's good. But this letter is more specific. It's like you are talking to yourself. Some of us, we have always been there for our friends, right? when they lose their loved ones, they have issue with their relationship, maybe they even lose their job, or maybe something really happened to them that they never imagined. What do? We go to visit them. Sometimes we take them out. Sometimes we text them. We are on the call with them, trying to pacify them. We are trying to be compassionate. We are trying to say, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Anytime you need me, just give me a call. I'll be right there with you. I'll be this, I'll be that. That's good. That's being compassionate. That's being there for our friends, family, and our loved ones. That's okay. But how about you do it for yourself? How about you take our time and you embrace being self-compassionate? How about you do those things you do for other people? How about you look at yourself in the face and you do it for yourself? So that's a very, very powerful strategy. I want you to try it out. I've tried it. I've used it several times. It's been magical. All right. My second point is take absolute control of your inner voice. We all have an inner voice. It's our power. It's our soft power. It's what determines what we do, who we are, how far we go in life. A lot of people, honestly, from my experience and all of that, I can tell you that a lot of people don't have control over their inner voice. Their inner voice, takes them to wherever it wants them to go. The moment you lose control of your inner voice, or the moment you cannot control your inner voice, then it's going to be difficult for you to love yourself. Now, imagine this. You are a pilot trying to fly, from one place to the other. Let's say you are flying from New York to let's say Dubai, right? And then while you are in the air trying to navigate everything, someone takes control of the cockpit and you can no longer tell the plane where to go. You no longer have access to the control and say, we are flying at this altitude, we are flying at that altitude. What happens? The plane is going to crash. The pilot will likely die and everybody on board will likely die as well. So when you allow your inner voice to be taken away, when you don't have control over your inner voice, what does it do? You lose control of who you are. You lose the essence of your authenticity. You will not be able to determine and focus and do the things you are supposed to do with your life. That's the same way it is. So I want you to see self-love as a component of who you are, and then your inner voice as the cockpit, as the control, that dictates whether it goes to the left, to the right. So a lot of people, they have allowed self-criticism to take over their inner voice. Every time they do certain things, they will be like, oh, it's your fault. It's never going to be them. It's always you. And all of these things are really, really deep. I understand that they are not surface things. Most of us, these are things we've picked up, habits we've picked up from our childhood days and all of that. For instance, I remember when I was in elementary school, there was a day I had an F in, I can't remember the subject, and I was shivering. I was like, oh my God, my mom is going to kill me today. How I am a failure. How would this and this and... So many of us are like this, and we grew up like this. We feel when we want to do something and it doesn't work, then we're a failure, and we begin to condemn ourselves. It took me several years to fight this and be like, hey, there's failure as an event. You're trying to do something and it's not working. That's failure. And there's failure as a person. So as a person, I am not a failure. Even I might have failed at what I was trying to do, right? It does not mean I am a failure. I'm going to try again next time, and next time I'm going to do better. That's it. That makes it easy. So there are some people, their inner voice is self-doubt. It's going to be telling, anytime you want to do something big, it's going to be telling you, oh, I don't think you can do this. You have never seen anybody who has done it. Remember the last time you tried to do it, you failed. You remember when you tried doing this, it didn't work out. Those are inner voices. They are going to be telling you, you can't do this, you cannot do that. Some people, when they see something, when they see a very great opportunity, their inner voice is going to tell them, it's going to say, I don't think this is for you. I think you are too small for this opportunity. I don't want you to do it. So inner voice can come in different ways. It could be, self-criticism. It could be telling you that you are not adequate. It could be telling you that you are not good enough. Some people is going to say, oh, I don't think you can measure up. Those are so what I want you to do, the second thing you have to do is to sit down. A lot of people don't spend time with themselves. You need to, at least every week, spend about 1 hour with yourself, not with any other person. Be on your own. Think about your life. Speak to your inner voice. Look at those things that are happening. I mean, when you begin to feel some anxiety, talk to yourself. Talk to your inner voice and say, "This is not who I am. I don't give in to fear. I am brave. I am this. I am that. I can do this." You need to control your inner voice. The more you do this, the better you become. So over time, you are going to gain total control over your inner voice. Now think about it again. The illustration that I used. A pilot that is trying to fly a plane, right? That is flying a plane. When you are very skilled at it, then you'll be able to fly better. It's going to be, same way like that. The more you practice, the better you become as controlling your inner voice. All right. And that takes me to the third point. I want you to accept yourself. Let's be sincere. We can never all be the same. I want you to accept yourself for who you are. Accept and embrace your imperfection. But wait, this does not mean that you should have a fixed mindset and say, "This is who I am. Nothing is ever going to change it." I am not a patient person. There's anybody can tell me I'm never going to be patient. I'm not smart. Nothing anybody can teach me. I'm never going to be smart. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say you should accept yourself, I mean accept your flaws, the things that you have. For instance, you might have a certain look and you want to be like, you see some people maybe on the TV and be like, "That's how I'm supposed to be." Or you see people do certain things, achieve some things and be like, "Oh, exactly, that's me." Or sometimes you might, let's say for instance, you say, "Oh, look at the daughter of, let's say, a king." Okay, you can say things like, "Why was I not born into a family of a billionaire?" For instance, why is my father not a king? Why was I not born with a silver spoon? Why was I not this A, B, C, and D? Why was I not born? Probably, that's never going to change anything. Whatever you have that is already fixed, all you have to do is to accept it. So I'm going to say you should accept your flaws and your imperfection while you work on the things you can work on. Because the truth is, everybody has something, but nobody has everything. That's just it. That's just the truth. You might be thinking that there are certain things you don't have and other people have. You'll be very shocked that there are certain things you have that they don't have. That's how life is. But you're never going to know about it because, if you're on social media, people are only going to show their good side. You will never see their flaws. Everything is perfect in the public. Until you really get very close to people, that's when you really see their flaws and you see their imperfection. So I don't want you to beat yourself up and trying to be in a certain way and be like, "Why am I not like this?" Why don't you leave all the "why am I not"? Why don't you embrace who you are, your beauty? Why don't you embrace your beauty? Why don't you embrace your imperfections? Why don't you embrace the things you have? Why you continue to work on how you can get better, how you can achieve your dreams, and how things can go the right way for you. Okay, I challenge you to use at least one of these strategies over the next 7 days, and then you will see how much difference it's going to make in your life. Like I told you earlier, when I go through a very big change or something that really rocked my boat and I'm like, "Oh, this is really big for me," you know what I do? I pick up the pen on my phone and I write a letter to myself, and then I read it and it makes me calm and I'm excited. And again, sometimes I remind myself of who I am. You are this, you are this, you are that, you are great, you are beautiful, you are smart, you are ambitious. And I also control my inner voice in case it tries to go south. Sometimes our emotions, they go south and our inner voice wants to misbehave. So what you have to do, remember you are the pilot, right? So what you have to do is to steer it in the right way. You are the captain of the ship. You are the pilot of the plane. You are the driver of the car. So you have to turn the wheel and say, "Hey, we are not going left. We are going right." That's your job. That's who you are. You should have control over your inner voice so that it doesn't get hijacked and then you don't crash. And when you crash, you don't just crash alone. There are so many people, so many destinies that are attached to you. There are so many people that are going to be successful because of you, because of what you offer the world. So what do? I don't want you to crash. No. Please don't crash. Do not crash. If you crash, so many people are going to crash. Alright, so I challenge you to use any of these, at least one of these tips, and I believe they are going to do magic for you the way they are doing for me. Thank you for watching. I'm going to see you in my next video.